Well, hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. This is the 1/1 of 2025 broadcast with Mother Mary. I'm Samara Grace Daniels, and I'm just so excited to see you, to hear you, to be with you on this very kind of momentous and interesting day. I've been channeling Mother Mary now for about a little over 25 years. Seems to be the gig I got. And although I used to wish that I was yoyoma and could play, evidently this is the gig I got. So I'm giving it all and really honestly feeling incredibly grateful because I've met people all over the world who love Mother Mary, who are operating from a place of heart, who want to live in a world of peace and well-being for everybody. And so I just feel always like there's soul connections that happen. And I love it when people come on and they kind of remind each other and meet each other, which is really how we're meant to live. You know, one world, one light, many paths, but one light. So Mother Mary's message today, I think, is going to be kind of interesting. I was telling some folks who got on early that it felt to me like she was pacing up and down in my living room, waiting to deliver the message for today. So I'm very excited to hear exactly what she has to say. And I then make this recording available on both Facebook and YouTube for anybody that wants to look at it again, or if you'd like to share it with friends and family. Over the years, the audience has grown, and it just warms my heart to see more and more people just finding their own path that includes Mother Mary, but also has its own spin for everyone. I see Dr. Elaine Christine has just gotten on. Happy New Year to you as well. So you'll hear my voice change just a little bit when Mother Mary comes in. People have said she has an Irish accent. I don't know. But without further ado, with all my heart, I bring you Mother Mary, and I wish you all peace, well-being, health, and healing. So here she comes. Well, hello to all my beautiful beings of light. I know you have human bodies, but I see you as beings of light, sort of wandering around in this wonderful world that has all sorts of opportunities and all sorts of challenges and all sorts of possibilities. And so what I want to talk to you about on this interesting timing, you know, in our world, years change and it's really not that different. But in your world, the changing of the dynamics of the world is included in the planetary adjustments that some of you that study astrology may have noticed. And so here we are on 1/1 of 2025. And so you might think to yourself, well, you know, so what? Well, it's an opportunity because, again, because you measure your time in the world in months and days and years, it's an opportunity in a way of a very special kind because you're moving out of the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius. You think to yourself, so what? What does that mean? What it means, and I hope you can really get this, is that it's time to activate your divinity. It's time to activate your divinity. And you might think to yourself, well, what does that mean? And I'll explain it in just a moment. But I want to just take a moment and just invite in your own heart and mind and body the question, am I ready to activate my divinity? And see what that feels like and what answer you might get. As you look back over 2024 and all that has happened, or in some cases not happened, I invite you to see what was the most disappointing for me, what was the most exhilarating for me, what was the saddest, what was the happiest. In other words, really reflect upon the journey of 2024 and how it was for you. And again, in almost everyone's life, there's highs and lows and things in the middle and all of that. But I want you to look at it from the perspective of how much of my divinity did I utilize and allow during 2024? And how much was I simply operating from my human self with its own patterns and issues and problems and beliefs, etc.? And again, I invite you to look inside yourself and sort of get a percentage. You know, was I using 10% of my divinity, 20, 30, 2, none? And just sort of hear that within yourself. Again, I'm not going to ask you to share that, but I think it's important to realize whatever your experience is during 2024, I promise you, no one was using 100% of their divinity. And perhaps that's not quite possible just yet in the world. But the idea is, as you move into 2025, choose, if you feel it, if you like to activate more of your divinity, more of that divine connection through your soul and Soul Star Chakra and through the crown chakra that would be, I want to say, sort of the divine intelligence, the divine energy that could have helped you navigate whatever the challenges were in 2024 more easily, with more grace, with more joy, with more ease. So now what we have is sort of a reflection. All right, I'd like to activate my divinity. And in 2024, I was using X percentage. All right, if I'm ready, how do I do that? How do I do that? Well, the simple answer is it's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice to realize when you get up in the morning, if the very first thing that you do is activate the human part, all right, what do I have to do today, blah, 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 then already you're going to be moving into that day from your human perspective, from that limitation, if you will. If instead you take even 15 minutes in the morning and find yourself a quiet space, wherever that might be, inside, outside, whatever. It would be lovely to be outside in a place that's beautiful, but nonetheless, I want to be realistic about your day and just say, take 15 minutes. Put your hand on your heart. If it works for you to play some beautiful music, either on your various devices or even yourself playing beautiful music or singing, and say to yourself, I now choose to activate all the divinity that is mine to live today. So it doesn't have to be all your divinity, but all the divinity that is yours to live today. So now when you do that in those 15 minutes, part of what happens is that instead of operating from the fight or flight place that most people operate from, you begin to activate the pineal gland, you begin to open the crown chakra, and you begin to connect with your soul star chakra. And in that soul star chakra, it's sort of like the highest octane gasoline that you could put in your car. In that soul star chakra is all of the promises that you made before you came, all of the sort of karmic possibilities that are yours are there in the soul star chakra. But again, if you never look at the moon, you don't even know it's there. If you don't allow yourself to connect to your soul star chakra, it's like having a wonderful engine sitting in the garage. It just doesn't go anywhere. So in those 15 minutes, by taking that quiet time and inviting your divinity that is appropriate for that day, what you've done is you've moved aside the normal human manner, the patterns of your behavior that operate for the most part as much as you could to the wellness of your being, but not to the greatness of your being, not to the greatness of your being. So now when you connect to the soul star chakra, let it feel colorful, let it feel like a song, let it feel warm and wonderful. You know, many people have auditory experience, some have visual, some have kinesthetic. It's all good. It's all good. But it's a choice that you're making to connect with your divinity, to have that operating with you as you then move into your day to do whatever is yours to do. And what you're going to find, if you can do this sort of regularly, those 15 minutes for 1 week, just 1 week. Now I sound like those diet commercials. But if you do it for just 1 week, you're going to feel the difference. You're going to feel the difference. And that difference is going to give you a kind of extra energy, extra clarity throughout your day, so that it becomes something, well, why wouldn't I do that? When it helps me to make decisions, when it helps me to feel my way through whatever the day might bring. And mostly what you're going to find too is that there's a feeling of coming home. So many of you miss the home frequency, and you find it in nature, you find it in dance and yoga and all sorts of wonderful places. But it also exists sitting in your favorite easy chair, connecting to your soul star chakra. That's home. Because it was there in our home that you made this decision to incarnate in this life. And therefore, then the soul star chakra carries the memories, carries the meanings, carries the feelings with which you then chose to come to this life. So it's like meeting yourself in a way. It's your divine self. It's your connection to all of the divine. Over time, so I promised you the first week will make a difference. And over time, what you're doing is you are recalibrating every cell in your body. Many people have spoken about how humanity is moving from carbon-based to crystalline. Sounds good. Well, how do you do that? How do you do that? And it doesn't happen overnight. And it's not like a magic hocus pocus that you can do. It happens because that human being has decided to allow their divinity to move into them, to be reverent towards themselves, to realize, I have this connection. You all do. And I'm going to allow it to move into my heart, my mind, my body, and transmute and transform it so that I become kind of like that old TV show, The Bionic Man or Bionic Woman, whatever it was. It's like, but you don't need that. You need the soul star energy to permeate and recalibrate and regenerate who you are and why you've come. So it's an extraordinary process. And to move from carbon to crystalline, I would say in many cases will take years. So don't worry about it. You know, like we're not going to do percentages of that. But what you will find is you will be feeling, I want to say healthier, stronger, more vibrant, more joyous, more relaxed as this goes on. So the sky's the limit, really, with all of that. Some people like to have something to say while they're doing this connecting with the soul star chakra. That's not a requirement. You know, I don't want to say, oh, you have to have a mantra or something. You don't have to have anything. You do have to choose to connect. That's the one thing. But I would just suggest one of the things you could look at is this idea of your I am presence, which of course all of you are familiar with. And if that feels right to you as you're spending your 15 minutes, along with that, you could choose to say, I am the light I came to be. I am the light I came to be. Not I'll be the light when, you know, that happens or when that happens or when I win the lottery or when that. I am the light I came to be. that also is a refrain, if you will, an instruction to your body. I am the light I came to be. So what's happening is, and again, use these words if they feel right to you, create your own if for some reason they don't. Because when you think about what's happening in your body by choosing this soul star recalibration, you're changing not so much the DNA, but the patterning of your DNA. All of you were raised with wonderful parents who told you this or that. And then you went into school and they told you this or that. And then you went and had your experiences in jobs and they told you this or that. And all of that, this and that, becomes sort of like obstacles and barricades. Like, well, I couldn't do that. I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't have the education, whatever that might be. And so the soul star information knows no limitation like that. Now, can Samara become yoyoma? Probably not. But she's not meant to be yoyoma. She's meant to be Samara. So when you're saying, I am the light I came to be, and you're joining with your soul star chakra, that instruction and that practice begins to shift your body, begins to shift your mind from comparison, from judgment, from all of the various regrets you might have, from embarrassing things that have happened or things that you've done or not done, et cetera, et cetera. All of that resides, like I said, like little obstacles and barricades in your body. And when you move that aside and join with your higher self and with your soul star chakra, and you say, I am the light I came to be, all of that begins to dissolve. All of it begins to dissolve. You might feel like, well, is that a good thing? I still want to be the best athlete or a cello player or whatever. You will be what you came to be. If that's still a cello player, so be it. If it's something else, then it's something else. Because what we're going for here isn't just average, just getting through life, just making it through a day. What we're going for here is to live your highest truth. Because when you're doing that, your human body is still operating with all the different things it needs to do to operate. You're just choosing a different boss. And the boss is you, your divinity. But it's no longer the voice of a parent or a teacher or a coach or a boss or something like that who criticized you or minimized you in some way. You are hearing, I am the light I came to be. Wow. And so all of that is like hitting the reset button on your heart and your mind and your body. And so it's a huge shift that, as I said, doesn't happen overnight, but it begins to inform you with certain aspects of clarity, intuitions, ideas, possibilities. And what those lead to, because again, if you think about what is divine, what does that mean? It means that above the fray that is currently existing in the earth plane, there is a design, there's a matrix, there's a crystalline grid of clarity. And so, the old TVs that had all the static and the rabbit ears, I don't know why I'm thinking of that. But it's like all of a sudden that's gone and you have a satellite connection. And so the picture's clear as can be. It's like, oh, okay. And so you begin to operate from this place in which this intuition says, instead of doing that today, I think I'll come over here. Okay. And then you see what happens. So the human body is designed to protect itself, which is fine, but it won't take you to the heights that I would love to see you achieve. And by heights, I don't necessarily mean you'll all be millionaires. But what I do mean is you will have achieved sharing the light you came to bring. And that will be a comfort in so many ways for all your life and for the lives yet to come. And so this is really the time to decide as we move into 2025, do I want to just exist in my human self, being a good person? That's fine. That's all right. Or do I want to be the light I came to be? And what would that look like? Because in that choice, and again, if you want to just have a good life, that's fine. We will love you no matter what you do. But this opportunity in 2025 is to recognize that you came to live not only your human story, not only your human story, but to live a story that's yours to write, your divine story, how you touch people, how you love people, how you elevate nature and animals. I don't know. You all have different aspects of possibility. But when you do this practice, what you're going to find, and as I said, it should happen pretty quickly. So in 1 week, 15 minutes a day, wow. Because once you do that, I think you'll be hooked. You'll see, my goodness, this is wonderful. And when you move out of that 15 minutes, take a look around the room that you're in or the outdoors if you're outdoors and extrapolate the energy you've just felt and received and bestow it as a blessing. Because you all know this, as above, so below, as within, so without, you know all that. But knowing it and doing it aren't always the same. So as you come up out of your 15 minutes, take 1 more minute or 2 and bestow a blessing wherever you are, wherever you are. And again, I'll say certain words. The words are not magical. The intention is everything. You could say, may you be blessed. May you have a beautiful day. Thank you for being my kitchen and having such a wonderful opportunity to cook or to do things and all of that. So when you're doing that, then, so you've just received all this wonderful energy from your soul star chakra. You're filling yourself with divinity. You want to have a little transition before you jump into, your to-do list. And that transition is to be the blessing that you came to be. So I am the light I came to be. To see it, to behold it, to believe it, and then to bestow it. To see it, to be it, to believe it, and then to bestow it. Now you are operating as a divine human being. Because you all know this, you're all here to be blessings, to share your love in the ways that are fulfilling and wonderful for you. But I want you to operate with the highest octane fuel that is available to you. And so we don't want to keep it in the garage anymore. We don't want to just leave it on the side, to just say, well, sometimes I'll meditate. It isn't even a meditation. It's activation. You're activating something extraordinary, extraordinary. And in that activation of your extraordinary essence, whatever is yours to be and do in this life is going to be so much easier and simpler and more joyful. The other thing it's going to do is move you from someone who's reacting, like to what's happening in the world. Oh my God, don't even get me started on what's happening in the world. If you're someone who's turns on the news first thing, right? And oh my goodness, oh, look at what happened over here and over here and over here and over here. So now already you're in reaction, meaning you're in judgment or fear or doubt or whatever. And so you've lost so much of your capacity. So by starting in those 15 minutes, by joining with your divinity, you now become a creative aspect, a creator in the world rather than a reactor. Now, if something awful has happened, do you still want to send money or blankets or something? Absolutely. It isn't about distancing yourself from the difficulties of this world. It's about energizing yourself to be able to be in an even greater capacity, a helpmate to what's happening in the world. So this practice, I think, will see you shifting, as I said very shortly. And from that, from being the light, to believing in the light, to becoming the light, to bestowing the light, now you are living as you had promised when you first came. You're living your divinity. And I think that in this time that we're in right now, where there is so much confusion and chaos, it's a little like, henny penny with the sky is falling. If you don't do something different for yourself, whatever was true for you in 2024 will be the same. So this is all about becoming the light you came to be in order to bestow it as you choose, as you feel guided. This is the path to greater freedom, greater abundance, greater health, and greater joy. And so it's really for you to decide, do I want to access more of my divinity? Am I willing to spend 15 minutes in the morning really trusting and believing that I have a soul star chakra, I have a crown chakra, I can open to all of that intelligence and open to the divine, and then to do it. And again, those of you that like music or to read a special passage or something, all of that is fine, not required, but fine. But intending to be the light you came to be, it's kind of not negotiable if this is the path that you would like to create. Another way to look at it is that you each have both your human body and your star body. And your star body connects like a five-pointed star with the apex above you through your crown chakra into your soul star chakra. And then the two arms, one to give and one to receive, and the 2 feet of the star, if you will, one to connect with the earth and feel that, and the other to receive back from the earth. So once you begin this process, just imagine yourselves activating this larger body, connecting to the sky, connecting to the earth, and connecting both to humanity and with humanity to receive. I'll have a little more to tell you about in February, but I'm hoping that that's enough to get you all started in something that is truly so simple and truly what you came to experience. If you can let go of some of the human things of, well, will I make more money? Will I do that? I don't know. But your soul star does. Your soul star knows. And when you have that, there's a peace of mind and a peace of heart that you are being the light you came to be. So I'm wishing you all a most healthy, wonderful, and joyous new year. I'm hoping that you will practice for at least a week and then love it so much that you take those 15 minutes and guard them every day to be the light you came to be. This world needs it so much. And really, darlings, you need it so much. It's been a difficult time for many, many people. Lots of challenges, economic, health-wise, all of it. And everyone has his or her own path. So this isn't about becoming an avatar or something. It's about becoming you, becoming more of you, whatever that might be. So I'm wishing you all the love and happiness throughout all these days to come. And I'm hoping that you will come and see me on 2/2 of 2025 and report back to me on all the good things that have occurred. So much love and namaste.